Welcome back to Les Schwab Tire Center's Outdoor GPS. It's time for Owin's Field Report, sponsored by Les Schwab Tire Centers.
Welcome back, everyone. Now, yesterday, if you caught the end of the show, right at the very end, I mentioned, wish me luck, I'm heading hunting. I had drug my boat in, my dog and everything here to the studio. Then I was going to head right out and meet up with my buddy that I hunt ducks with, Mr. Fish. And the whole premise of the whole key to the whole thing was if he was able to get to a spot that we could hunt before I left here, okay? And trying to get there without a boat is next to impossible. But he put the effort in and we were able to make something happen. Thing is, though, when you're dealing with big tides like what we had yesterday, and it looks like that might continue for a little bit, it's nice to have water, but when it disappears as quick as it comes in, things can get interesting. And I misjudged the timing of the tide. As we all know, I guarantee you I'm not the only one that's out there, or for you that are watching, it's not the first time that I've misjudged how long it would take water to start showing back up based on what that graph is showing you. All depends on location, where that graph is actually being centralized at, and then where you are, right? So there's a number of things that come into play. Well, I ended up blowing about an hour. Finally, we're able to get ourselves set up, and then we weren't going to have a whole lot of water to work with as we go through. So we only had about 2.5 hours to hunt. But this is one of the reasons why I love duck hunting so much. It's so much different than fishing and other hunting opportunities. It's a completely different game, and it is a game. It's just a really fun game. But we were able to make it happen in a short period of time simply because we put the work in and the willingness to move a couple of times, really just to find where we're going to have enough water to work with. And thank goodness it did, because we actually put together a decent bag in a couple of hours. We ended up short of our limit, which is okay based on the situation and what was going on. To end up with 10 birds, a nice limit, or not limit, a nice bag, widgeon, pintail, mallards. We probably could have taken a couple of teal, but we passed on those. Spoonbills, we let those go. But in the end, we came really close. But we just had to get the heck out of there. You got to have enough water to get out, right? That's more important than anything, is to be able to get the heck out of there without getting stuck. How many of you have been stuck overnight? Don't ask me how I know. It's no fun. But I would expect to start seeing more fresh birds for all of us bird hunters anywhere in Zone 1. And I don't spend time in Zone 2, so for you over there, I'm not certain. I don't get reports all that often from the east side. And I say this begrudgingly because I don't want to jinx it. It's getting really cold up in Canada, and there are a lot of birds that are stalled out. I get reports all the way up and down. So let's just cross our fingers that because it hasn't happened yet. It hasn't happened yet. How about that? Anyway, you need to be paying attention to river levels. They are popped, and they're going to be very interesting, especially along the coast if you are, trying to get the last few days of fall Chinook fishing in. I believe that most areas for chum have started to close down, so there's not a lot of opportunities going forward for salmon. Of course, we're all going to be paying attention to our upcoming winter steelhead season. But yeah, the Columbia is going to get some water, which is good to see. But let's take a look at some of the rivers along the coast as well. Bonneville staying very, very flat. But here locally, yeah, you're starting to see some bounces. Again, on my home river, the Clackamas, not a whole lot to be excited about there. There's going to be some silvers in there. There's going to be some late returning chrome fish, as well as probably a number of colored up fish in the system. The higher up you go, you're going to run across a few more. But again, it's just really starting to wind down. Then you take a look along the coast. All these rivers, if they are not yet just done, they will be very, very shortly here in the next handful of days. We're going to check in with Carly here in just a few minutes. But we got a whole bunch of water coming at us, and we'll see if it actually, all comes together that way. But it's good to see a big freshet like this. It does clean out the rivers. Hopefully just laying the groundwork for great conditions for steelhead when they start showing up here in a short period of time. Now, yesterday we had Jason in here from Procure. Yes, he did confirm it's a real thing, everyone. Send him an email. Jason at Procure, you need to do this each week to enter in. Okay, it's not like you enter once and you're in forever. Each week you need to do so, and then you might get lucky. You'll find out on this Monday morning if you are the winner. All right, let's check in with Carly and find out what we can expect. Yesterday, Carly had mentioned an atmospheric river. I must have gotten 5 or 6 texts yesterday of, what is an atmospheric river? It doesn't sound good. Sounds good to me.
Yes, it's just, you know, a bit of a heavier period of rain than what we typically see. However, I will talk about the atmospheric river in just a moment. I wanted to show you the mountain right now because we have declared here at Fox 12 to be a first alert weather day. There is going to be a winter storm warning in the Cascades starting this morning at 10 and ending tomorrow evening at 10. And we should see between 1 and 2 feet of snow in the Cascades between that time, and even more so when that atmospheric river comes around. That will just bring excessive moisture to the air, whether that is rain to Portland or snow to the Cascades. And so let's take a look at how this will play out. For most of the day today in Portland, we'll see some scattered showers here and there. Of course, when that cold front comes through, that's going to bring the first heavy bout of mountain snow. We expect that front to hit sometime between about noon and 1 today, so not too far off right now. So do expect it's going to be a difficult travel day if you are planning to, you know, cross the passes at any point. We'll continue to see those scattered showers throughout the night tonight and throughout the day tomorrow as well. And look at that. That mountain snow just stays pretty consistent. Like I said, 1 to 2 feet potentially expected at Government Camp, and then down in Santiam Pass, we're seeing totals as high as 3 feet. And so it's going to be pretty intense. Keep that in mind if you have any plans. And the atmospheric river, though, is expected to hit in the afternoon on Tuesday. Once again, just means excessive moisture is expected during that period through Thursday. And models kind of disagree at this point as to how much water it will bring. We're just going to be a little economical at this point and say 2 inches, okay? Just roughly that amount. But we'll keep you updated, though, on those totals as we get closer.
It sounds like if they're being, you know, kind of holding that back a little bit, it's potential to be even more.
Absolutely, absolutely. But yes, with a bit of an uncertain weather system such as this one, it's a little hard to predict exact totals until we get pretty close to the event.
Either way, it's great to see some moisture coming in. The mountains are going to love it, and we need it really bad. Carly, as always, thank you very much. We appreciate it. All right, now before we cut away, I want to try to get one of our phone calls in. We've got Phil from Canby. It looks like he's got a thank you for someone out there. Phil, what's going on, sir? Phil, you got me, sir? Can you hear us? What you got for everyone?
What's going on, sir? Well, I just a comment, Owen. What you got for everyone? Well, I was elk hunting with our mutual I was elk hunting with our mutual friend John Kay and his group up in Ukiah, and we had snow and fog, and it was horrible conditions. And on Sunday, I was driving to another area, and I got flagged down by 2 guys that I had a flat tire.
Oh, wow.
And in the snow, of course, it didn't affect. I couldn't feel it. So we tried to get the spare down, and it wouldn't come down. One of the guys took me back to camp. One guy stayed with the truck. He flagged down another person, and they managed to get the tire down. They changed the tire, and they delivered it to my camp.
Wow!
Yeah, I couldn't believe it. These guys were from the Dalles. I just want to comment that there are still great people out there that hunt and camp and enjoy the outdoors. I'll be eternally grateful to these 2 guys and the one fellow's bride-to-be, fiancé, but I just wanted to share that with your listeners or viewers. And you know me, I'm the old Quaker, so.
Well, Phil, that's a great story. You're right. There's no doubt that the fishing and hunting community the vast majority are very good people that are willing to help in any situation. Phil, thanks for your phone call, sir, and bringing that up. And I actually have one that I can throw out there from yesterday. I was actually out. I already gave you my report, but we were quite a ways away from my Chevy Silverado. And I got a text message from a friend of mine that was in the same area. When he got back to the pull-out, she's like, hey, idiot, your driver's side window's down. I had to haul, I had to fly back there because it was raining like crazy. And of course, thank you, John, if you're out there watching. That could have been a nightmare in so many different ways. All right, we're going to cut to a break. When we come back, we've got a quick video clip for you. Then we're going to check in with my good friend Nick Popoff from Peel to Reel Guide Service, and I have Steven from Portland. He's got a question about bank fishing. We're going to get his call as well. We'll be back with more Outdoor GPS in just a couple minutes.
Outdoor GPS is brought to you by P-Line, because we fish, by Hawken Fishing, perfection in fishing gear, and by Haxton's Canvas and Upholstery, the trusted name of the Pacific Northwest.